Hello friends! We are coming back today with more CES news. I hope all of you have had a wonderful day today. Today was a very exciting day. I found the gaming section. So I found some gaming peripherals in other places, which is pretty normal. The stuff can be pretty spread out in CES. But today we've managed to find all of the big gaming accessories. Razer, all the Microsoft accessories were there. There was a lot of exciting things going on. And we'll actually start off with Razer themselves. Do you want to start right into it, or should we just vibe for a bit first? How are you guys feeling? How's chat doing today? I'm feeling a lot healthier. My throat is feeling a lot better, which is good. I've been fighting off a little bit of a sickness recently. Also need to... Feeling good? That's good to hear. Give me a moment here as I need to do some encoding because my way back to where I'm staying was kind of a nightmare. It took me almost 2 hours to travel for what should be a 20-minute trip. So my setup time for the stream is somewhere between 0 and God, I wish it was more. But that's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's going fine. We're doing fine here. I'm fine. You're fine. Here, have an image. So, okay. So we start off with Razer. Razer in general, I would like to give my general impressions of first. I'm usually not impressed with Razer. I think that Razer makes fine products. I think they make good quality products. But in general, they seem usually to be just a little bit more polished than stuff that you can get elsewhere. Now, that's fine. There's absolutely a space for that. And these chairs are a good example. These are very nice chairs. Check out these cool chairs. What do these chairs do that's unique and interesting? Well, I'm glad you asked. Nothing. They don't do anything that's unique and interesting. But they don't need to, because, well, they're just really good quality chairs. I personally use a Secret Labs chair, and I have nothing against these. There's no fault in these. They're just going to be expensive gaming chairs. They're fairly nice. Okay, I can breathe now. I can breathe. I've started the stream. People are here, and people are watching. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay, right, guys? Can you sit on it? You can sit on it. That's like the top tier of quality chairs, is that if you can sit on it, then it's a good chair, right? That's how it goes. So then I went to this other company. I don't remember their name, frankly. Oh, you care? Aw, thank you, Victoria. I need to hear that today. So they had Valorant set up on a testing computer. They built the computers. This is a computer integrator. That is to say, they build the gaming computers, and then they sell other parts. They use an MSI case. They use an MSI keyboard. They use this, what is that, TGL monitor, I guess. And, well, they had a game of Valorant set up. And I'm like, you know what? Heck it. I'm just going to go out and play some Valorant. So I just kind of sat here for a little while and just literally played Valorant in their booth. I think someone thought that I was supposed to be there, like I was like a pro gamer representative there or something, because people actually stood around and watched me for a little while, which was a little disconcerting, seeing as that I was just, one of the attendees who happened to be interested in Valorant. We'll go back to the Razer booth in just a moment. I actually saw the Razer booth, then got distracted by an open computer with a Valorant gameplay. No, they had me set up as Brimstone, and I'm terrible at Brimstone, so I did not wow the crowd. But then again, these were business executives, so I think the bar was fairly low, so maybe I did. Maybe they were impressed, actually. So I'm going to say yes, I impressed the crowd. Actually, no, I should just say that. I should just double down on that. No, I absolutely impressed the crowd. Everyone was very proud of me at CES for playing my Valorant in front of everybody. Everybody clapped, because it's America. It was a good computer. It was a good computer. What they do is they just are a systems integrator, like something like an iBuyPower or whatnot, except that unlike iBuyPower, which tends to buy cheap parts, they focus in buying higher end parts. That is to say, they build the computer using quality stuff, which is good to see, you know? NSX was the company name. But this is the kind of, this is an interesting aspect of CES. Companies that don't make their own product but integrate other people's products. It's fairly common in all fields. Either it's a LiDAR array that they don't actually make any part of the LiDAR, they make the software. Or maybe it's an oven, but they don't make any single part of the oven, they just start selling the, the combination of it. Likewise in here, they don't make the mouse, that's MSI. They don't make the case, that's an MSI case. They don't make the monitor, that's a TCL monitor. What do? They bundle it together and sell it to you. They build the computer, which is definitely a service that needs to be had. NZXT? Do they have any NZXT? I think they had an NZXT thing there as well. No, NSX is the name of the company that this is. Although I do love NZXT, though I didn't see them this year, oddly. Maybe they weren't here. Now that you mention it, they weren't there. I usually meet them and hang out with them. I'm familiar with those guys. Here's the rest of their booth. Ah, wait, that's not the button. This is the button. Here's the rest of the booth. They just had various computers set up. NSXC. You can see the name here. And they're just a computer manufacturer, something that I've done a lot of work with myself. And as you can see here, like they use Asus boxes, they use Intel hardware, they use a whole bunch of other different components, and they just build it. And by being someone who uses quality parts, unlike say an iBuyPower, they really have a lot of benefits to themselves. Do I have a good picture of this next thing? Then I went back to the Razer booth. So I'm just making sure this didn't have a weird reflection of me. It does not. So I went back to Razer. And Razer has this. You can't see it well because it was behind glass, and which is a recurring theme that I've seen. Several products were either behind glass that was extraordinarily reflective, like more so than you'd expect from regular polished glass, or it was underlit by being put on a white pad. These two things made it very hard to photograph. Can you even see what this product is? Can you actually see up in here what we're looking at? This goes on your headrest. This is a headrest for your head on your gaming computer. And it gives you audio. Now that might sound like it's not a good idea. Alright, so the next thing we have is actually this VR... what is this? Head strap? Head casing? Casing for your brain mind? It's just a VR strap that goes on front of your VR experience. I'm sorry, it's not a VR strap. It's a Razer VR facial interface. Real support for virtual reality. Extend your VR gameplay with a very real upgrade to your Meta Quest 2. Designed for long-lasting comfort and support, the Razer facial interface. It's called the Razer facial interface is created in collaboration with ResMed, human factors expert. Human factors expert? What the heck is a human factors expert? This is the copy. I'm legit reading the copy to you guys. Hold on. I'm legit reading this copy. Human factors experts with over 30 years of facial interface experience. My dude, my brother. It's just okay. It's not that. It is absolutely a facial interface device. Ultra thin textured profiled membranes to reduce facial pressure. Medical grade and hypoallergenic materials to reduce skin irritation. Co-designed with ResMed technology, a leading expert in human factors. I want to sit down in a room with a leading expert in human factors I just want to talk to them. I just want to talk to them about their position. I just want to hear what a human factors expert really is like, you know? What goes on in the day-to-day life of a human factors. It's resume speech. It's worse than resume speech. It's SEO speech, but it's SEO speech on something that is supposed to be actually read by humans. I have some pigs and blankets, and they're very tasty. Okay. Next up, what do we have? We have... Now, this is not Razer, actually. This is Pimax. Who here remembers Pimax? Pimax is a VR manufacturer, and they've decided to expand their progress into other fields, which is kind of exciting, to be honest. Let me see here. Good. Okay. They make the widescreen VR, and they still have that. Actually, I did get to try it. I've tried that before. This is not me. This is somebody who did not consent to have the picture taking, but that didn't stop me. So, sorry. I usually try to crop people's pictures out of these, you know, like out of politeness, but there was no way of getting a picture of this without it being attached to somebody's skull. They do still make this, and this is the newest version. The newest version is actually made for inside-out tracking for Quest style, and I tried it, and I have to say, it was very noticeable that it was inside-out tracking. I usually use on my own system lighthouse tracking, outside-in tracking with lighthouses, and yeah, their face isn't visible, that's why I'm okay with it. You're exactly right. I mean, this guy's face is visible, but I mean, screw that guy, who cares about him? Sorry. I mean, it's a convention space. There's no real way around this. But yeah. That guy can be E-famous, I guess. Whatever. That guy's gonna be more popular than I am because of this video. I'm sure of it. Anyways, their claim to fame is that this is an incredibly high resolution, like this image that has extremely wide screen. It's a delight to look at. It is very pleasant, and reading text is almost always a problem in VR, because the moment that you start to move away from anything in VR, it starts to get garbled. It just starts to fumble itself together. And this did not have that problem, which is good to see. Now, this all to say, Pimax is still alive and well. They are making one that handles outside-in tracking as well, the lighthouse technology. Didn't they claim 8K and 200 hertz or something? They do have an 8K version. They also have a 4K version. Did I try this? Is the 4K one that I tried on. But I've tried the 8K one in the past, back when it was still a prototype. Yeah, I think I'm allowed to say that. I tried that before it was announced, but now that I can actually, say that because it's been announced for several years. Anyways, I have tried the 8K Pimax. It is spectacular. It is genuinely phenomenal. It's not 200 hertz. I believe the 8K is 90 hertz. And the other versions are less. I don't know the exact specs. That said, they are very good, and I recommend them. But they're also moving into other fields. This right here is a small gaming console. This right here is a small... It looks like a Switch, but I think a Steam Deck is a better comparison point, right? This is a little Steam Deck. It has a VR, and it also has the Google Play Store, and I kind of flinched when I saw that because Google Play means that it's an Android device. An Android gaming market is kind of terrible. Like, the Android gaming market is kind of a wreck. The doohickey. Honestly, I hope that somebody has a product on the market called the doohickey this year. Like, that they should. Absolutely, 100% it. So, I'm a little bit nervous about this being an Android device, about it being on the Google Play Store, because that's going to change what's available compared to, like, the Steam deck, the Steam decks, or a Switch for that matter. Because, Switch obviously get the access to the Nintendo library, but still though, the button layout actually works really well. You have your standard buttons here. You have a start and select on both sides, and then you have some of these menuing buttons on the bottom. And yeah, exactly what Tuzzy says. The mobile gaming is meant for phones and consoles more than it is meant for... Well, more than it's meant for anything else, frankly. But it's meant for phones and consoles more than it's meant for mobile devices and computers. And it shows, you know, it shows sometimes. That said, as long as it has the software capabilities and compatibilities, it's fine. And there are emulators available for Android. I mean, if you have a way of legally acquiring the ROM files, you could just play, you know, Super Nintendo games or whatever you want to on it. Next, I'm going to show you something that does not photograph well. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, so this looks like nothing. This is a mess. This is a mess. I accept that. I recognize that. I understand that. I'm going to show you what it actually looked like while I was there. Maybe. I have no idea if this is going to work because, like I said, I am coming right off the heels. I didn't even have time to encode this video. But I'm just going to slam this video into here and see if it works. So you guys ready for this? I apologize for the audio. It's going to be a second of burst audio. There we go. Nope, that does not look much better, does it? Wow, okay, so what this is doing is, in reality, IRL, this looks correct. It's a hologram. These spinning little spindly bits are showing a human picture. Here, let me see the other one. I have another video. I don't think it's going to look much better, but I mean, it couldn't look worse, right? Again, sorry for the burst audio. Okay, this actually does look a little bit better. So you can also see what's going on more clearly. In person, you don't see all these lines. Here, let me just make sure this is going to loop. Boink, boink. Play. Good. So. They should have went with Miku. I mean, honestly, if they had the licensing, I'm sure they would have. I don't believe it's an actual Gundam. I believe it's just a generic Gundam. Oh, maybe it is Tallgeese. I don't know. I don't know Gundams. Anyways. The idea is that this creates a hologram with these spinning blades. The spinning blades have LEDs, and the LEDs play different colors based on where they are on their spin, based on an algorithm that creates an end result of something that looks like it's in motion and hovering in the air. This technology, that is also semi-transparent, this technology has been around since World War I. It's actually the same technology that's used for fighter planes. Fighter planes, biplanes specifically, or any prop plane, propeller plane, that has a gun in the front, they created a system that tracks how fast the propeller is spinning so that you can fire forwards and the bullets will never pierce through your propeller. You'll never shoot your own propeller. It's basically taking that idea and applying it into a hologram situation. You have a spinning propeller and the LED lights up at certain points along its path at certain points on the video, creating an illusion of a hologram. It's cool. Is it terribly impressive? I don't know. It doesn't look amazing. It doesn't look like it's going to floor you, but this is also going to cost drastically less than any other hologram-based effect. These blades, spinning blades, these fans with lights, are going to be cost-effective for more venues than an actual true hologram setting like you had at the Hatsune Miku concert. I do apologize for eating on stream. Trust me, I feel worse about this than you do. Alright, let's talk keyboards. This one's actually kind of cool. I talked a little bit about keyboards before. The simple fact is that anybody can make a keyboard. Anybody that has access to 108 keyboard switches can make their own keyboard, right? Keyboards are not a difficult technology for anybody to make and work with. But that also has the benefit of a lot of innovation. Anybody can make a keyboard, therefore anybody does make a keyboard. This right here is a mechanical keyboard that has two different modes that I found interesting. This little kitchen clock looking thing at the top, this thing here, switches between two different types of key presses. in this position, this is a Cherry MX Blue equivalent. It feels like a Cherry MX Blue keyboard with nice clicky keys that have a nice sharp resistance. If you pivot it down, it feels like Cherry MX Red Silent with softer keys that are much quieter. It's one keyboard that effectively has two different switches on every single key. And that's kind of cool. I've never seen anything like this before. Yeah, it's a game changer. It kind of is, right? Like, I've never seen anybody do something like this, and it's a really cool idea. I love it. I'm into it. I'm here for it. Why am I weird here? Am I not lined up right? Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay, cool. I had to make sure my wiggles were working. Yeah, that's exactly right, Fontos. It's a silencer for a mechanical keyboard. And as far as that goes, it's a really cool concept. Just at a baseline conceptual level, that is something I've never seen done before. You know what else you know what I have seen done before? Pinball games. Pinball games have been done to death. These have existed since, you know, what? These are very popular in the 1950s. These are classic pieces of hardware. Extremely popular in the 70s as well, yes. And they still existed. I mean, they still exist now. And I asked the guy who makes these things, what is new and innovative about pinball? What is pinball doing that's new and interesting? Because I was genuinely curious. Because my first thought was, my dude, it's a pinball game. There's nothing, you know, what does a pinball game do that hasn't been done over the past half of a century? Almost nearly a full century, actually. And he gave me a genuine answers. It does have an LCD screen up here, which gives you some extra information and feedback. It's also non-intrusive. It's not something that really forces your eye away from the game itself. Pinball games used to have something like 3/4 of a mile worth of cables inside. That's what he said, that's about a kilometer. It used to have about a kilometer worth of cables inside. And now with modern technology, several things are connected by Cat5. I have no idea why this guy left his lunch on the table. I just realized that. I took a picture of this guy's lunch. Okay. You know what? Let's look at this other one. Anyways. No, you know what? No. Look at this guy's. We're going to analyze this guy's lunch next. What do we got here? What do we got? Ham, cheese, some capriccio, capragati. There's the Italian meat that starts with a C. That one has some lettuce in it. Maybe that's one's. I don't know. It looks like it's a really good lunch. It's a fantastic lunch. Okay. Anyways, so it has a third of the cabling that a lot of classic pinball games used to require to run. A third of the cabling and many components are user replaceable, so the operator and owner can replace parts on their own. That's very important, because if you have to send out for a tech every time you need to replace a wire or anytime a diode goes out, then nobody's going to want to have your product at their store, right? They're not going to want to have your product at their arcade if it's a huge maintenance disaster. They go with several retro styles. This James Bond style one they have here. They had this one, which is a Star Wars. They also had a Jurassic Park-ish one. James Bond is back in action. Oh yeah, that's right. This was a Mandalorian one. So this was a more modern Star Wars one. So this is a Mandalorian-themed one. I thought it was a very cool design. And more than that, they do also have a bit more integration in technology. They also have leaderboards. It seems like such an obvious thing, but you have these leaderboards set up so that people can, play against each other. Instead of being a local leaderboard that's just on the system, you can have a leaderboard on a placard, on a TV screen, an entrance, in a more public place, so that it becomes much more of an accomplishment. It becomes an achievement. And your name can be there, and you can choose your icon and avatar. Pinball really has been competitive. Pinball is a competitive game, or has been in the past at least. Actually, Vaporeon is correct and apparently familiar with this. Let me pull this back up here. Right here is a QR code reader, and you sign up for the product. You get your own custom QR avatar that you can use for their system, and a QR code, and you can use your QR code to enable you play to upload your videos, upload your gaming. Also, there was a special unique avatar that you could get if you signed up at CES. I did not get it because I did not play pinball, and I did not get a picture of the sign-up sheet, so I apologize for that. Let me see here. I apologize for the audio chirp that is about to happen in 3, 2. There we go. Sorry about that. I just decided to record some dude playing pinball for a little while. It's just a good quality pinball game, you know? It's like, there's nothing particularly unique about the concept, and there's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a refined way of playing pinball in the modern era that uses modern technology. It's supposed to, you know, ancient tech, while at the same time just being not just reminiscent, but actually being genuinely classic pinball. So that's what's new in the pinball world. There's new pinball worlds. Things are new in the pinball world. I think that's neat. So many places have headphones. A similar vein to... Pardon me. He did the thing where you can lock a ball and free aim into a position. Yeah, he was trying... He was absolutely fiending to try to get into a certain point on the board, and I just watched him for like 5 minutes after that, completely failing every single time. He would consistently lock and try to drop the ball into a particular ramp, and it was like, buddy, I see what you're doing, but this ain't it. Just give it up, man. Find another way. Find another path, because you're not finding that ramp. Anyways. Here we have some gaming headsets. Now, let's be honest with ourselves. Gaming headsets are like keyboards in the fact that anybody that can get a couple of speakers can make a headset. They're very common, and not all of them are top quality. But these were decent. These are actually our 7.1 channel. That's the keystone. That's the important thing, I think, on a lot of gaming headphones, is the idea to either get a real 7.1 surround, or at least an emulated 7.1 surround. I use a HyperX headset for myself when I'm on the go, and at home I have a Valco headset, which I'll talk about more later. But this right here, this Warp, was one other example that I saw that seemed pretty interesting. But also I just wanted to talk about headsets in general, because it's one of those pieces of technology, like keyboards, that if you have a couple of small components that can handle it, you can make a headset. If you have a 100 or so keyboard switches, a couple hundred switches, you can make a keyboard. You can just make a project of making your own keyboard if you wanted to. There's nothing stopping you. The technology is there, and the technology is easy to get a hold of, and the technology is easy to implement. Which is good and bad. It means that anybody who has the drive can put a keyboard or a headset on market. The downside is that anybody can put a keyboard on market, meaning that the market is absolutely flooded. I want to check. Can you guys hear the audio? Are you guys actually getting the background audio? I didn't actually test that. I don't have a way of testing things. Let me know if you can hear the background Comfy Cave audio. Next up, we got power supplies. This company makes power supplies. I mean, every computer needs one. Every computer needs one. And whenever I go up to a place, the first thing I ask is, what do you do that is unique and exciting? That is always, always, always my question to everybody. What do you do that is unique and exciting? What these people do is they make very large capacity power supplies. This one in the top left is 80 gold certified, i.e. it is a very efficient power supply. And this is a single 1650 watt power supply. 1650 watts on one power supply mark with over 90% efficiency. With, I believe, 95% efficiency is what you need to get rated at 80 plus gold. That's fantastic. That's a really, really good power supply. Like, that, I usually get nothing back. You know, I'll usually say, hey, what makes you unique and exciting? And I'll get some like, oh, we are the manufacturer of this product. And like, they'll get to read off their, you know, generic copy that they're given to read to the customers. Like, no. I'm specifically asking you what your innovation points are. What do you do that genuinely is unique and exciting? And this guy didn't hesitate. I respect that. This guy didn't hesitate. He just walked up and said, this right here is one of the biggest power supplies in the market. Most people can't make a power supply this big with this efficiency rating, and we do. She's like, oh, okay, heck yeah, you know what? I respect it. Everyone needs a power supply, and if you can hit those marks at a decent price point, that's respectable. That earns a tip of my hat. And on that note, I do want to mention that I am skipping over many components that are inefficient, that are to show. There's a lot of people who are showing switches, LiDAR arrays, components, and cabling solutions that aren't going to interest you guys, but are still critical to the industry, right? There's going to be a lot of things here that are valuable to the people who need them, but not valuable to you and I. So I just wanted to point out that I am skipping over several interesting things that are just not interesting enough. I kind of wish there was a booth that had component cables for retro consoles. Wow! Did you read my script? Because I didn't make a script yet. Because the next up I have here is the Atari Retro Game System. This is exactly what it looks like. It is a user interface. I believe it's just, you kind of uses a Raspberry Pi. I wouldn't be surprised. It doesn't actually use a Raspberry Pi, but it probably uses the equivalent of it, roughly thereof. And it's one little Atari joystick that holds 200 plus officially licensed games, including your classic big names as well. And that's just cool. That's just a cool thing. We've seen other consoles. I know Nintendo themselves made a Nintendo mini console a little while ago. How is this different from what you can make yourself out of with a Raspberry Pi? It's not. But the difference is that most people can't make a Raspberry Pi. This is designed for mass consumption. This is designed for the average person who's going to be buying it in their local big box retail store, you know? If you have the ability to make yourself one with a Raspberry Pi, do it. Absolutely, just do it. It'll be the same thing, but it'll be better because it's yours. But the average person doesn't know how to do that, right? The average person who is working 9 to 5 at an office job has never touched a Raspberry Pi in their life. They want to reminisce about their titles, about the Atari, and this is their way of doing it. It's all about target markets, right? Before I go back into the more retro stuff.
That's nuts.
Look at that. This is a flexible monitor. It's a monitor that can be curved or flat. Isn't that bonkers? Isn't that kind of bonkers? That's kind of bonkers if you ask me. I think that's kind of bonkers. And it's like a good monitor too. It's an OLED. 4K monitor. It's beautiful. This is the only thing I took at the Microsoft booth. Curved monitors can be nice. They create a different landscape for you, you know? This was shown off at the actual Microsoft booth. I don't usually spend a lot of time there because, well, I can't work directly with Microsoft. That's the honest truth. I can't work directly with Microsoft. So, like, okay, they'll show off fancy things, and I'll be like, okay, fine. That seems nice. It seems neat. Yeah, they made it so it can be curved and uncurved because sometimes, I don't know why. I think it might just be a view distance thing. I don't know about you, but sometimes I sit at my computer, and other times I sit on a beanbag chair, like a good 3 meters from my computer. Sometimes I sit at my desk, and sometimes I sit on the other side of the room and watch my same monitor. If I'm at my desk, I could actually see using a curved monitor. That sounds nice. If I'm halfway across the room, I'm not going to use a curved monitor because I'm all the way over there, right? I'm not going to be paying attention to it. I'm not going to be looking at a curved monitor if I'm a little bit off-centered from it, you know? So I like that. I think that's neat. Okay, let's go back to Retro Lands. You know you guys wanted more retro stuff. I know at least some of you in chat do. These are little arcade cabinets with HDMI outputs, and the HDMI output lets you play whatever game is on the cabinet, and you can use the little controller there as your controller. Or I believe on some of them they actually have little LED screens that you can play them on there. This company makes several different officially licensed mini consoles. Here. This one's styled after the Game Boy Classic. I don't know why my picture is not as crisp as it should be. Actually, that's kind of weird. It brings back that nostalgia, right? It lets you play the nostalgic games in a nostalgic way by having to actually hook up and wire up a console. Here we have these little Pac-Man consoles that are much the same concept. You can either play it on the screen here, or you can wire it to a console. And you can just look at the design. The design is stinking adorable. It's absolutely cute. And they just have classic remakes of consoles here. Like, this right here is just an Atari. This is just an Atari that has an HDMI and component output. With gamer LED controllers. I mean, this is a great idea. You know, if you want to relive the Atari games, you're not going to run it through 3 different adapters to try to get it to run on a modern system. Like, I know Vaporeon was saying that earlier. It's like, how do I wire in my classic consoles? Well, this says you don't need to. This says you get the experience of the Atari with an actual console that is just wireable directly to your TV. And I like that. I think it's a wonderful addition. I think it's a good product. It could, you probably are right. It could be smaller, but it doesn't need to be, right? I think this is a good size. Any smaller and it would feel flimsy. Any smaller and it would feel too small, I think. At least for me. I think this is a good size for it. And likewise, I think that the joysticks are a good size. You absolutely could make it smaller, but I think that if it were smaller, then it would be less... It would feel wrong if it was any more small than that, you know? Next up, we have Ovotech. You heard me right. Ovotech. Feel the game now. Haptic gaming system. Ovo. We obviously support Ovo here. Also, this wristband here, I just ended up wearing that the rest of the convention and just playing with it as a stim toy, just as a fiddle with it. So what this is a haptic feedback vest. It will take information from games, whatever, and it will make you feel things. It will vibrate at various points on your body. It will shock you out a little bit, not like drastically, but just enough to give you that sensation. Just enough to give you a little bit of sensation in the game. And they know what they're doing. This is a VR company. This is a VR gaming company. It's all run by furries. We all know this. They knew what they were doing when they named the company OWO. I brought this up before and so I was like, oh wow, they must not have known what they were doing. No. I guarantee you that they knew exactly what they were doing. I didn't have a chance to try their new model out, though I have tried this in the past, and I have tried similar things. And it works, it feels nice. It's not terribly impressive yet. The technology is still being worked on. At least I didn't try it this year, maybe it's here this year, I don't know. When I tried it last year 2 years ago? I don't know. Whatever. It wasn't sharp enough. The vibrations were too flimsy compared to what I was supposed to be feeling. And all they have to do is really ank things up a little bit. I like the idea of it. It's a little scary how it can be done with that. I think it's beautiful. There's a lot of cool things that can be done with that. More cool than scary, in my opinion. I mean, you're not gonna like play Monster Hunter and find something that actually kills you when you get hit by a Rathian. You know, like that technology we don't have yet. We don't have the technology to create a haptic feedback vest that actually murders you. But give it a few years and we'll work on it. Gosh, on that note, I actually saw a shirt that said the next newest finest gaming experience, the VR MMO experience, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. What is it? I mean, like, I know Orbis and I know that other one. I've seen the VR MMOs, but they haven't been really impressive. But like, I'm really curious about hearing about a new VR MMO. Then the guy turned around and I saw it was just a Sword Art Online shirt, and I just face palmed myself. It's like, oh, I should have seen that coming. Okay, yep, no, that's just a Sword Art Online shirt. Anyway, who needs more metaverses? You guys want some metaverses? Who wants metaverses? Too bad we got metaverses. This one has anime girls. You could play darts. I kid you not. You could play darts, and then you would get, if you joined the metaverse, you would get a tank, fighter jet, or battleship for joining the metaverse. I mean, I played the darts. I even got a bullseye. That counts as a bullseye. It doesn't have to be in a ring to be a bullseye. That still counts as a bullseye. That's still a bullseye. I did a good job. Okay, shut up. So, yeah, I actually won a battleship. I'm not going to claim it because I'm not going to play their stupid metaverse game. But you know what? I earned a battleship today, and that counts for nothing. No, really, the idea of their game, quite literally, is that you buy these plots of land. You buy each of these, they say, is 100 meters square. You buy these plots of land, you develop them using cryptocurrency, because you knew cryptocurrency was involved, because you knew cryptocurrency was going to be involved somehow, and then you place military things on it and attack other plots of land and steal them. And this guy was actually talking up how you can make money playing the game. He was actually talking up how you can claim other lands and convert that into Ethereum. And it's like, buddy, the ship sailed, buddy. This isn't going to go as well as you're going to hope it's going to go that it's going to be. It's a thing that I would classify as not good. Yes, that was a boat, but Vaporeon, thank you. I'm just glad that somebody noticed. If you go back and watch my videos, you will see more puns than you realize. I just am glad when people realize that I make them. That's what all I go for. Because I try to make them and pass them off like in a deadpan way, you know? Just kind of like make the pun and move on. And sometimes people just don't catch them. Yeah, The thing is, the ships aren't even anime girls. It's literally unplayable. How can you play a game with battleships where the battleships are not also anime girls? Huh? I don't know. Next thing, we're moving on. Agreed. Let's move on to steering wheels. This company makes controllers, video game controllers, that emulate high-end steering wheels right to the point of them even having a bit of a drive shaft equivalent. There are absolute fanatics out there when it comes to simulation gaming. There are people out there who adore simulation gaming. There are people who make flight sims where they actually use these cockpit of like a Cessna or like of an actual plane. There are people who play. Honestly, the one I'm most familiar with is the flight sim nerds because they get kind of super wild out and out there. But this right here, yeah, these are as close as are excellent steering wheels. You can even see this one has the gamer buttons on it, so you still have gaming controls, but actually have a real steering wheel. Have it, for all intents and purposes, an actual real analog steering wheel to control the game. I'm not into this, but I respect the heck out of it. Look at this. They even have a gear shift. They even have a gear shift that would just hook up by USB to shift the gears in Forza or whatever game you're playing. I love this. Would I ever use this? It's not my style, but I respect the heck out of it. And if you're the kind of person who wants to play this kind of game, go all out. If you have the budget and you have the desire, and that's the kind of world that you live in, and that's the kind of fantasy you want to play out, if that's your passion, chase your passion. And I mean that. Like, if that's something that you're excited about, then absolutely make the thing that you're excited about real. That's my advice to you for today. That's Kobold advice to you for today. So here is your microphones. They had a couple of microphones, whatever. The one that caught my eye, however, is this one. This right here is an ASMR microphone. Each of these little components on the side pulls out. And when you pull it out, you get, well, you get literally some shaped ears that can record high-quality ASMR content. And I think it's pretty cool. I think it's nice. I think that it is just a delight to see ASMR-specific equipment, because anyone can make ASMR equipment, but having it ready to go off a shelf really opens up a lot of doors for people who are into that, you know? Next up, we have the thing that you all were hoping for to see today. Stinking adorable gamepads. Look at these things. Look at all of these things. They're all adorable and I want every single one of them. I want this so bad. Okay. These are for Xbox and PC, and then these are actually Switch controllers with these components here on the side pulling out so they actually fit in your Switch as well. This isn't like a Pro Controller situation. Holding onto it feels like holding onto a Pro Controller, but when you pull it out and put it on your Switch itself, it makes your entire Switch feel like you have a Pro Controller. It lets you play in handheld mode with something that you can actually hold onto with your hands. It's a delight. I adore it, and I want it, and I'm probably going to order one. And you know what? You know what else, friends? You know what? One sec here. Hold on. Wait, you're sideways. Why are you sideways? One sec. Rotate? Where's my rotate? Wait, that's... Hold on, how do I rotate things? Help, how do I rotate things in OBS? Ah, whatever. Okay. Yeah, there it is. If you want one, I'm giving you the CES discount. I can't actually do that. I'm under no authority to do this, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to check or know who has it. So, yeah, if you want a CES discount for that, go back and check out these QR codes. And you didn't hear it from me. Alright. Okay, what else do we have here? No, it was not a Sakura Wars controller. It was this one on the left. It's the Sakura Blossoms controller. Okay. You knew it was gonna happen, folks. You knew it was gonna be here. It's another metaverse. One of the world's most completed extended reality platform. An association with whatever the heck that stuff is. Metaverse Solutions. Digital Twin. Digital Human AI Influencer. AR, XR Games, Visual Position, Point System, Cloud, Real-Time 3D Volumetric Solution, User-Generated Business, Metaverse Platform, AR, XR, VR, Technology, Web Service, Features 3.0, Blockchain. Yep. Now, if you're wondering what this is, me too. This is kind of all they gave me to work with. Don't know what else they got going on. Okay, so here. I present to you. Wait. The mech chair. This right here is a standing chair designed to work with mecha-based games. You have all of your standard... There we go, sorry. You have all of your standard game controllers right here. And you have a chair that actually turns with you. I'm going to show somebody else because you know what? I'm not showing their face and it's okay. I guess I am showing their face. Oh well, get wrecked, nerd. Oh, I'm actually doxing them with their name badge. Whoops. Oh well, whatever. So the idea here is that you have the standing pad. Well, let me just get my... I'm going to put that right there to hide it. There. Now we don't know who they are. No one can go back in the video. So you have these VR goggles. And the mech itself moves when you move your body. If you push forward, you'll go forward. If you pull back, you'll move... no, wait. If you pull back, you move forward. I didn't get that part. I kept on doing the opposite. If you push forward, the mech will pull back. I imagine that it has to be configurable later on, otherwise what the heck. But you can turn your body, you can turn your arms to change the direction that the mech is facing. And you have all of your controls right here on your thumbs and on these trigger buttons here and on these paddles. And I tried it out for a 5-minute demo and it was pretty cool. This is a prototype unit. You can tell that they 3D printed most of the casings for it. So this isn't like a completed model, but for what I saw, it was very well made. Oh, here's an exciting one. Okay. I want you to look at this little component adapter right here. Friends, that is not just a chip. In here are cartridges. And those cartridges contain scents. Smell-o-vision is real. Smell-o-vision is finally real. Pardon me. Question why? The answer is immersion. The answer is that scent is an extremely powerful immersion tool. If you want to smell cooking, if you want to smell a grassy knoll, if you want to smell just, a nice new atmosphere, flagging a scent receptor in a person can really send you into a new place. And that is a wonderful experience. As game developers, we want to get people to feel new experiences, right? That's kind of like our whole core, is to get this immersive feeling, to get people set up in this mindset of the new and the exciting and the unique. And this accomplishes that. This exactly accomplishes that. Going into a pine forest, well, all of a sudden you can smell pine trees while you're in the area, and that pine forest is no longer just a locale in the game, it becomes a real place in your brain mind. Plus, with synthetic chemicals, you could actually create new planetary smells. You could create little puffs of gunpowder. Or you could just create a very pleasant garden for something like a Rune Factory or Harvest Moon. I think that this is a really cool technology, and they are actually getting it to work. I was able to test it, and it works very well. The downside is that these little scent cartridges do need to be replaced, and unless you're going to be working with circuit board level things, you'll probably need to replace an entire board at a time, which could become very expensive. Rune Factory 4 is amazing. Hard to agree. Rune Factory 5 just came out, and I got it, and I'm enjoying it what I have so far. It can be very unpleasant, and you worry about the misuse of these things. That's a fair concern, but I don't think it's a valid one. Let me explain. If you are a player, and you have this set up, you're going to be angry and write a bad review if you have a bad scent. If you put up with like skunk or something, you're not going to play that game, and you're not going to use the product. The game developers are not going to give you that negative experience because they don't want to give you a negative experience about the game, right? I don't think that's like a controversial take or anything. So I think that the default of this is going to be good because, yes, well, it could be abused and, stink bomb someone. I'm pretty sure that no developer or no software manufacturer is going to do that because they would be tanking their own reviews, right? Like, I could go up and just punch somebody who's playing my game, but I don't think they play my game anymore, There are games where the goal is to give you an epic experience, and if that's what you're signing up for, then fine. If that is what you are signing up for for the game, then that's not misuse. That's just use, right? If you are playing a game that has that sort of negative experience, you probably know what you're signing up for, basically. I have no idea why this was here. This is old-fashioned 3D. They just had retro 3D with this weird, the little holograph experience window. It was so strange to see it because this technology is ancient, right? It's been around for such a long time. Like, there are some newer, there are some cooler things that they did with it. For example, here, where they just had physical pieces of wood, and then the fish were sort of floating in front of it. But yeah, this is like, 20 and 30-year-old technology, minimum. This kind of 3D is not new, but at the same time, it does look nice. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that it doesn't look nice. It looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. But it does require glasses, and the glasses really do take you out of the experience because you have to be wearing the glasses for them, well, to see anything. So, okay. Here we have a VR experience. Red and blue glasses go back to the 1930s, but yeah, these were stereoscopic lenses, I think. They weren't red-blue. But yes, that is how old the technology is. You are correct. So this is a VR set that is designed to be tied to an arcade. Like an actual arcade. You play the game, you pull down the VR headset down onto your head, and when you're done, it tethers and pulls it back up into the top of the mount. This is designed to be sold to arcade operators and designed to be done on a pay per time basis. So, not unlike classic arcade gaming, except this is going to try to draw in. It's going to try and draw in customers off the street, right? It's going to be to try to draw in customers off the street with the promise of, hey, do you want to try VR? And that's going to get people, right? If people can do this experience for $5, for $10, for $15, they very well may, especially if they're in a place where you have an exciting venue, like a Disney World or I was at Wisconsin Dells somewhat recently, or if you're in, I mean, do malls still exist? I could go well in a mall, but I don't think malls exist anymore. I think all the malls have gone out of business, right? Those are all gone, I think. Well, maybe we can find a mall we can put this in. The core idea is great. I have no idea why this duck was here. How's that for a segue? I have no idea what this duck was doing. There was just someone in a big duck suit walking around. It's a mascot for somebody, but I saw him just walking around the trade show in the hallway. I not sure where they were going, but I just saw the big duck suit, and I'm like, you know what? I'm taking a picture of this. I'm taking a picture of the duck suit. Yep. Maybe it was just a rando. I don't know. I don't expect that. Yeah, Phantos. Maybe you can even find an arcade with VR in it. That would be a great idea. So this place had controllers. And they look nice, right? The Tom Nook controller up there looks kind of cool. That's a stylish controller. These have sort of like this falcony hawk design. And like, that's a nice design. I think that's a cool controller design. And then they made a terrible mistake. They made a terrible mistake in that they let you demo them. They had a Switch playing Mario Kart, and you could take the controller and play Mario Kart. And the controller, which was functioning like a Pro controller, had about 2/3 to 3/4 of a second worth of lag. They weren't drifting, they were just straight up laggy. Like, I would press down on a menu and it wouldn't actually click out the menu for nearly a second. It was completely unplayable, and I was like, wow, you legit set up this demo. You took your hard-earned time and effort and product, and it could have just been a CES thing, right? This is a tech conference. The amount of wireless interference is just blisteringly high. The amount of Wi-Fi interference is through the bloody roof. It could have just purely been that the saturation of it. But, like, they set themselves up for failure, really. And I have no idea why. It's a shame. Because they look nice. They look like nice products. But I don't... The one they had on display was completely unplayable. It was a Tom Nook one, for reference. The one they had on display was completely unplayable, and it's like, I mean, thanks for the warning, I guess. But is there any way you could have, not? Alright, so Magic Leap was here. So this guy here is... Wait. Wow. This guy right here is looking at this car. Right here. This car is not right here. This guy is looking right here at a car that is this guy. Who is this guy? Is looking here at. Which is here. But it's not here. Because the car is here. Not here, but it's in his headset. His glasses. You can see the glasses. The glasses on this guy. Who is this guy? Look at the car and show the car, even though the car is not here. It's augmented reality, but it's that's what Magic Leap does, is augmented reality. I just thought that was a fun bit to do with the picture, the way I lined it up. That's all. It's I mean I'm allowed my eccentricities, right? Okay, I thought it was a funny bit. It's okay, you don't have to think that too. Okay, so next up we have a dragon. Enhanced gaming. This was cool. Pardon. It was fun. I get the sticker. Yay, sticker! Alright, so Enhanced Gaming actually has some very awesome stuff. I'm actually going to be looking them up and possibly buying a few of their things. They had these gaming bags. The picture didn't come out well. Heck. So they have these gaming bags. They actually have places for dice, places for miniatures, a place for a dice roller that just zips into the sidewall, and it flips over. I think I have a better picture here. That's adorable. Well, then you should give me more stickers then. That's about all I'm hearing. I love this little weird thing. It's cute. Yeah, little dice bag that has a dice rolling station on it as well. That just zips up into one little octagon. It's really nice. It's just a well-designed thing. And not the kind of thing I would have expected to see at CES. This isn't a technology, it is a new way of carrying stuff. And like, look at this. Look at this bag. Look at this Trapper Keeper. This is a Trapper Keeper. It has your character sheet. You can flip it over and take notes. It has a rolling tray built into it. Like, oh my goodness, this thing rules. Here, I got a better picture of the guy holding the thingy thing. See that? A place to hold a couple of minis. A place to store your dice. A place to put cards for depending on what system you're using. That can be extraordinarily useful, or it could just be, you know, flashcards for notes and stuff. Plus, this is also dry erase, so you can write it on it with notes and not actually have to like commit to it on the piece of paper. Still not an immersive leather bag. This is an immersive leather bag up here. These things up here are leather. But this little Trapper Keeper thing, I adore. I absolutely want one of these. Not that I really play tabletop games with people outside of, like, internet nowadays, but that's a different discussion. Here's how it looks on the outside, with this little dragon skin, quote-unquote, style. The bag here has, is exactly made to fit source books. Like, seriously, the bag here is actually custom made to fit gaming source books inside of it. It's fantastic. It's really well thought out. It's made by somebody who knows what they take every single day that they go to a tabletop game. And you know what? I'm here for that. Okay, next up we have just showing off LG. There are a lot of major manufacturers. Places like LG will just make enormous pavilions. And they'll basically make their own convention inside of the convention. Like here. They just basically made their own convention space. So what they do is they buy. So each of these little booths that we see is just exactly that. It's a booth. And what LG will do is they will buy like 60 booths or something, tie them all together, and then make this enormous pavilion of their own stuff. It's an interesting idea, and honestly, it has a lot of promise. Like, I can see why they do it, but it kind of segments the convention space. The event space becomes these booths of people who are selling their products, and then these giant titans. But they had good stuff. They did if you are able to work with them. Like, here, for example, is a wireless charging facility for scooters. You can scoot up your scooter, hop it in here, and you charge it up. That's a great idea. If you had this outside of like a restaurant or outside of a shopping, what's the word I'm looking for? Grocer, then this would get a lot of use to anybody who has these scooters, and it would encourage people to buy the scooters if they didn't already have them. You just ride in with your scooter, dock it into there, and it can charge while you shop, or while you eat, or while you do what you do. If you live in a walkable area where you can use scooters, this is a phenomenal idea. This is just a great idea. But it requires adoption rates, you know? It requires the people to have the scooters that it charges with. Alright, check out these shoes. And tell me what you think they are. This was also at the LG booth. I want you to tell me what you think they're selling with these shoes. What are these shoes related to? Give me your best guess. Nope, they're not cosplay shoes. So. I love that you're all thinking about things that are good. I'm gonna need you to bring it down. I'm gonna need you to bring your hopes and dreams and just dash them all across the sidewalk, you know? Take all of your hopes and dreams and now tell me the worst possible thing that this shoe could represent, okay? Let's get on that brain lane. Mm-hmm. I regret to inform you that they are cursed. It is LG LG doing official NFTs. Yep. I can't even conceive of how they thought this was going to be a good idea. But yes, sure enough. The shoes are AI-generated NFTs. They are not Hermes sneakers. I'm so sorry. I mean, I'm sorry? But, that's kind of on you for expecting better, right? That's your fault for expecting things to be good, you know? I mean, eventually you'll give that up. Don't worry. You'll accept that everything is terrible. Alright, I will say that this was amazing. The question of the different. True. I want this screen. I want this monitor. I want it so bad. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. So. This is an OLED monitor, and I've seen them before, and they look fine. They're cool. They look nice. This one actually blew me away. This one actually made me think about what I need to do to switch to an OLED monitor. The contrast was incredible. The darks were dark, the lights were light, the movement was fluid and crisp. I'm not really usually sold on monitors. I kind of figure that a monitor, as long as it has a good resolution, it's good enough. But the OLED technology that they have on the market nowadays really is a leap beyond what I had expected it to be. So I'm going to straight out say that I'm impressed. And when it comes to hardware tech, that kind of is a big deal. I'm not easily impressed. Okay, so this one has a story. This is a 4K wireless HDMI extender. Now, this is cool. It basically lets you take an HDMI connection from one place and put it in another place, you know? So if you have a computer upstairs and a television downstairs in the basement, you could hook up your two things together without running any cables, and then as long as you had some way of controlling your computer upstairs, like a wireless controller, you could play it. It's like a Chromecast, except that you don't have to. You're not limited to things that what a Chromecast can handle. This is a wireless HDMI. This is a true wireless HDMI that handles in 4K resolution. 4K resolution at 30 frames per second, and that's impressive. That's pretty cool. So I asked them, hey, what's the latency on this? what's the device delay? And I'm like, I'm thinking right out of the gate, I'm thinking this is an easy question, right? This is a softball question. I just want to know what the latency that this adds to, between it is going to be, because, gaming and whatnot. Oh, I'm sorry, let me ask somebody else. Let me get one of our tech heads over here. I'm thinking, okay, so they hired somebody who doesn't actually know much about the products. That's okay. I'll wait till they actually get one of the techs over. So this guy comes over and I'm like, okay, so what the latency this has? Oh, it's 4K resolution. Okay, what's the latency? It runs at 30 gigahertz. Yeah, 30 frames per second. I mean, it runs at 30 frames per second at 5 gigahertz. Okay. What's the latency of it, though? Well, I just told you it's 30 frames per second. No, my dude. It's the latency. How long before the signal appears on the screen from when it's sent? Like a monitor will tell you it has a 2 millisecond latency. The monitor will tell you it has a 5 millisecond refresh rate. They'll let you know what the latency. What is the latency of this thing? Let me ask one of the other tech heads here, and they went out and grabbed somebody else. They brought me over to a laptop that had it set up, a laptop that was connected to a screen, like 4 meters away, and I kid you not, his answer to the very simple question of what is the latency delay on this was to wave his hand in front of a webcam and point at the TV and say, see, it's a very low latency. My dude, that's not an answer. That doesn't actually answer my question. That doesn't tell me. I want a number. How many milliseconds delay are we talking? This is not a hard question. This isn't like some super tech head, industry question. If I'm going to be selling this, if I'm going to be buying this, I need to know basic stuff like that. Like, this is basic question. You have a product that converts HDMI into Wi-Fi, and then from Wi-Fi back into HDMI. How many milliseconds of latency does this involve? Nobody there could answer it, but they kept on looking at me like I was some, tech genius, which maybe I am, but I wasn't on this question. It wasn't a certified tech genius question. This was a fairly basic question about the functionality of your device. Can I game on this? Is basically what it boils down to. Is does this have a 15 millisecond delay? And the thing that triggered me at the end, the thing that really raised a red flag for me at the end, was when one of their top techs came out and was like, "Oh, it's about 1/5 of a second." Now, anybody who's actually in the industry will answer you in milliseconds. They'll say it's a 2 millisecond refresh. They will say it's a 5 millisecond input delay. They won't say it's about 1/5 of a second. That is not how you answer that question. That is not the format that question is asked in. That is not the way. It's fine. It's not a bad product. It's not even a bad product. It's cool. It worked well. I could see it in action. It delivers 4K through the... So anyway, here's my lunch. So you'll be pleased to know that I actually ate well today. I had a pulled pork sandwich with nachos. I had some cucumber lime Gatorade. I had a strawberry frosted donut, and then I had one of those little shots of cream that they have in the concession stands to wash it down. It was actually got another one because one wasn't big enough. It was a delight. It was fantastic. Cucumber lime Gatorade is randomly everywhere? Yeah. It is the Homer donut, isn't it? It was a good lunch, actually. I did not make it out to Truckyoki. I am really disappointed that I didn't. But, well, this was actually in the convention center itself, so I decided I wanted to have it. I wanted to eat. I wanted to not die. Actually, I was expecting chat to give me pushback for just drinking the dairy creamers, because that is a thing that I do, and I was expecting people to find that weird. But I'm glad that you guys are cool with that. I'm glad you guys are on board with that. Oh wait, I need to edit this. Hold on a second here. So, after I had my meal, I was a little bored, okay? I was just a wee bit bored, and sometimes being bored... Look, I'm at a tech conference, right? I'm at a tech conference, and it's really on them for having a vending machine with an unsecured panel. So I hacked into the vending machine and got the SIM card information off of their credit card application. I was bored. I can't be blamed for this. This is not my fault. It was just a soda machine that I logged into and got some of the details off of. Because like, because why not? Because like I could see how many products they sold that day. I could see how many they sold over the past 48 hours. It was cool. It was nice. It was a good distraction. You know, it was a good way of relaxing my brain mind after. No, not the FBI. Not them again. I mean, not them. I'm not telling that story today. Oh, that's a story for another stream. No, I'm never telling that story. That's not a story. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Hi, how you doing? You having a good time? All right, so I decided to take a meta shot. So here is a picture of a YouTuber who is recording CES. I decided to record them recording CES. I thought that'd be funny. I don't know why. I hope they see this and cite this in one of their videos, because like then you have a VTuber making a commentary about CES, and then them like it's a video of a video of a video of an event, right? That's cool. That's funny. There's something inherently funny about that, you know? Okay, we can move on. So they had this thingy thing, which was... Actually, I think I have a better picture. Which is, you got to sit on a motorcycle and they would make a short video of you. They just had a big old gimbal setup. And they would record you. This thing above her is just a directional air condenser. So it would make your hair blow, and they would just record it from cool camera angles and then use some basic green screen VFX. It was a cool idea. I don't exactly know which part of this was their product, but I have no idea. I assume it's the gimbal itself, because it's just a good gimbal. Or is the gimbal the proper term? Actually, I don't even know if that's the correct term for this. I don't remember. I'm probably making it up. I'm probably totally wrong. Anyways. It was cute. Some people were very impressed by it. And then I saw this. The biggest opportunity in crypto since smart contracts. Oh boy! Scan to learn more! I can't wait to... Scam to learn more! Can't wait to follow this rabbit... No, I'm not going to follow that rabbit hole. Interestingly, though, remember what I said about booth space? They didn't have anybody at the booth. Their booth was just this billboard. Quite literally, they didn't have a booth. And I think that's fairly telling, because there was no one to stand there and talk to clients. There was no one to tell people there what was going on. But moreover, there was nobody to be called out. There was nobody to fumble an explanation or get caught in a lie. I think that's interesting, personally. I think it's dumb as a stack of hammers, but I think it's also interesting, you know? Here is a record player. It's an upright vinyl record player. I'm not big on vinyls. I don't really care about them. I don't think they sound that different personally. But the idea that there's new ways of playing vinyl and new ways of reclaiming vinyl is a neat idea. You know, people still have vinyl records, and some people still genuinely prefer the sound of vinyl with the impurities that they have. And, well, yeah, it's a good way of playing a vinyl that can be outputted in to various soundscapes, and honestly, the upright look of it is very stylish. I think it looks very nice. And it's a fashion piece, right? It's not supposed to be some big innovation. It's supposed to be a fashion piece. Let's see here. Oh, I just want to say that there are a lot of places like this, locations that are just like, hey, we sell cooling units, here's 400 of our cooling units that we sell. This is useful, these are good cooling units. Yeah, if you need a bunch of cooling units, these guys could have got you covered. But there's several booths like that, or like this. You know what you just need? What if you need cables? What if you just need, you know, a 3-meter long USB cable? Well, you know what? First of all, go buy a 3-meter long USB cable. You deserve it. You deserve a 3-meter long USB cable. I have one, and I swear by it. I can plug it in halfway across the room and still have enough slack that I can roll over in bed while being on my phone. Having a super long USB cable is really, really nice, and you don't realize how nice it is until you get one. Anyways, these are more for industrial use. These are more like, you know, how for sending out USB cables across a production plant or something like that. And if you need one of those, they've got you covered. And then I saw anime earphones. No, really. It's anime earphones. So they're just selling earphones. I said before about how earbuds and earphones are fairly easy. Anybody can make them, right? And but if anybody can make it, then you need to find a way to make yourself stand out. And these people did. This is called the chew, which is Japanese onomatopoeia for kiss. And what is it? Well, it's where's my arrow? It's just these earbuds. They're good quality earbuds by all spec, but their branding is what really sets them apart. Moondrop is the name of the company. And yeah, just titanium coated fine earbuds. But I love their branding. It's adorable. It doubles down on this aesthetic, and well, it really did make them stand out. Am I like a huge weeb that is vulnerable to this type of marketing? Yes. Yes, I am. That's why I'm into this. I love this. This is laser targeted at me, and I love it. I regret to inform you that I am a huge nerd, and I would absolutely buy the earbuds that are named the Nekocake. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. All I know is that these earbuds look fantastic, and I would buy them. Oh, there was a cosmetics place. Weeb merch. Yeah, exactly. You gotta respect the weeb merch. So this cosmetics place, they have a little exfoliant. They had a little exfoliant thing, and they're like, here, try this and rub this on your, and like they rub it on your hand, and they rub it off, and they show you how much dead skin it pulls off. And because, well, it's an exfoliant, of course it's gonna pull off dead skin. It's what it does. Like it, you know, and they tried. So okay, they were trying to, you know, show it off and encourage you to buy it. They weren't selling you to buy the product wholesale to sell. They were selling to the people at the show, something I talked about in the previous streams. It was pretty nice. It was actually a good quality product. But that's not why I'm showing it to you. I'm showing it to you because of the story of the lady who tried it on my skin. She rubbed it on my skin, and she looked at it, and she looked up at me and said, "See, Ian, blah 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 blah. How old are you?" And I could tell this because I could see the sales pitch, like as if it had sprung out as a 3D object in real time and just circled around. I could see the entire sales pitch in front of her, and pardon. And she was going to neg, you know. I was going to give my age, and she was going to say, "Oh well, your skin, is blah blah blah, and you should really, and this is going to be a good way of taking care of it." I told her my age, and she did a double take. Legit, she did a straight up double take. Like, wait, really? I'm like, yeah, I have nice skin. I take care of it. Oh, wow. I wouldn't have. I mean, yeah, I still get carded. Yep, I'm actually that age. Yeah, I kind of flummoxed her. It was fun. I'm glad. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my skin. I have nice skin. I do need to buy some exfoliant. Someone remind me to buy exfoliant tomorrow. I need to get some sugar. Hello, Ripley. Welcome. Oh, so this is kind of neat. This right here is a speaker. Okay, sure. Everybody's seen speakers. There's no... These are... The speaker itself is a pane of glass. Instead of being a vibrating piece of plastic like most speakers are, this has a piece of glass as the resonant, which means you have a much wider surface area across the entire device, which means the entire unit has a different feel to it. The sound quality feels different, and feels quite good actually. Okay, so next up we have some eye trackers, but they're not eye trackers yet, but they will be. So these right here are paper thin. These sensors are paper thin sensors that can detect eye movement. And their goal and their intent as a company is to integrate them into VR, so that you have eye tracking in VR and similar close range utilities. We have the eye trackers are right next to the eye. But when I say that these are paper thin, I mean it. These things are no thicker than a piece of A4 paper. And the idea that that can be used for eye tracking is very impressive. The capacitors that can track things are very rarely capable of being so small. Next up we have dogs. And cat. Dogs and cat. Toys! These are toys. These toys are targeted at a younger audience of, I think they said 10 to 15 years old, where the kids can build the toys and learn about programming, because they can program the animal themselves. They can program it and learn how to do a walk cycle. They can have it well, do whatever you want, move forward, turn around, etc. Respond to inputs. And it's great. It's a kid's toy that teaches STEM, but it actually teaches STEM because you're actually writing code. You recognize those legs? Oh. And I think it's a great toy. When I was young, I did Lego Logo. I'll tell more stories of this later, but Lego Logo was very similar to this. It gave you a set of Legos that were controlled by a computer, and you could write code in Logo, which is an old programming language, an old low-level assembly language. It's like, no, it's not an assembly language. It's not a basic language. It's an old language, like the big ones. It was the turtle one. It's the turtle language. Anyways, and you could take that, upload your file, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, upload your script, upload your program into the robot. And this is like that for a modern audience using C# and actual mechanics as opposed to Legos and Logo. But I do think Lego Logo is a phrase. It just really rolls off the tongue, but I think that that also is really good for that target audience. And now, you know I had to do it to you. You know it was going to be here. It's chair time. It's chair time. There were chairs at the convention. There always are. I said it before in the last video. By the way, the algorithm buried my last video. Nobody saw my last video. Like, no one actually watched my last video except for Tuzzy and Jack. That's basically it. My last video got buried by the YouTube algorithm, so, you know, if you actually are watching this, be sure to like the video so the same thing doesn't happen to this one. But yeah, these massage chairs... Hi, how are you doing? These massage chairs are being sold to the people who are going to the convention. They're being sold to the business executives that are attending the Consumer Electronics Show. They're not actually expecting you to buy them wholesale to resell. There's no new technology here. There's no innovation. This is just, hey, this is a room that has a whole bunch of business executives with a lot of pocket change. Let's sell them on a $5,000 massage chair. And I'm sure they sold several of them, so you know what? Sure, why not? Good on them, I guess. It's for the old men at the convention. Exactly. This is for the people who are at the convention because, yeah, on business trips. With all the back issues, true. So this is a projector. This projector is making this screen. This is a 4K 120 hertz projector. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know they did that. I didn't know that projectors could go all the way up to 4K and actually get a crisp refresh rate. Because when I think of projectors, I always think of the big chunky projectors, you know, the school projectors, that always are worse resolution and the image always looks flushy. And this actually looked extremely crisp. Hello, Buck. This actually was a projector that looked crisp and clean, and I am very pleased with it. I mean, it's a $2,000 projector, of course, so, you know, it makes sense that it's very good, because if it wasn't, then... But the response time, the refresh rate, and the image quality were good enough that you could use it for anything. And I was really impressed by that, because when I think of projectors, I don't think of crisp image quality, you know? So it was really nice to see a projector that was able to do that. Tuzzy's never played Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo on a wall? Wow! Tuzzy, go play Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo on a wall. Okay? You must. Alright, so after this, I went all the way back to the Sands Expo Center. And I just wanted to show another grand shot. I was actually going to use this for a thumbnail before I decided to use the controllers instead. But this is just a good wide shot of what the convention floor looks like. Something like this body friend booth, I don't know what they do here, but apparently they're friends to your bodies, is actually, I want to say 4 of these booth spaces, whereas some of the other ones are like 1 or 2, and the Sony one was like 60. So you pay to buy the space. But this is a good example of what the convention floor actually looks like. A lot of my shots are close-ups of tech, of course. But this is how the convention looks when I'm walking around it. Okay, next up I have something that I thought was very exciting. One sec. Yes. So I stopped at the Audio-Technica booth. Now, if you know, I used to use an Audio-Technica mic. I'm not using it right now. Pardon me. Because I lost it. I was going to bring my AT2020 on the trip, but I literally could not find it, so I brought my my Blue Snowball instead. Anyways, my mic for my streaming setup is a Shure SM7B, which is a phenomenal mic. 10 out of 10, highly recommend that mic. But they have their entire array of headsets here. They have a headset. One of their new products. Do I have that exact product here visible? I do. Good. No, I guess no. Actually, I don't. Okay. Yeah, it is this one, but this one you can't actually see it. So. There actually is a microphone here that is a condenser mic. An actual good quality condenser microphone attached to a gaming headset. I've said many times that the barrier for many VTubers is audio quality. If you don't sound good enough, people are going to click off. People are just going to walk away. If you sound like you're, talking into a hamster, then you're not going to be getting viewership. It's just a fact, right? And the bar for what is acceptable for a streamer has gone up, right? You can't stream off of a $20 microphone anymore and keep an audience. You just can't. There's just too many people out there with better mics. Unless you have something really special going on, you're not going to be able to hold an audience unless you sound professional. And this, having an actual good quality Audio-Technica condenser mic attached to your headphone, is really, really good. I put it on, and it was kind of cute. When you put it, both of us were wearing the headphones, and the mics were actually wired, so we could both hear each other, but we could also hear ourselves. And I could hear myself, and I was, my first thought, I just started practicing, vocal warm-ups. So I'm like, talking into it and wildly changing my voice during this conversation with this guy, because this guy is just, like the booth dude talking about all the tech stuff. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. So tell me more about this condenser mic on this product. He just kind of glances at me like, what? Oh, okay, we're doing this now? Okay, sure. It was cute. But anyways, this headset I would recommend for anybody starting out with VTubing or streaming. But moreover, they have a successor, not really a successor, but they have a kind of successor to the AT2020, which is one of the standard streamer mics. Actually, no, you can't see it here. It's on the left here. I'll have a better picture of it. It's the AT2040. And unlike the AT2020, there's my picture of it. I have one. It's actually a proper dynamic hypercardioid mic. It's an XLR dynamic directional mic. Here we go. That's it. But the thing is, it's not an updated version because the other one has a much different audio pattern. This one has a much different soundscape to it. But here's the thing though, this one is much higher quality. This is a really, really good sounding mic for under $100 US. It's $99 US, and it sounds like a mic that costs an extra 50% or an extra 75% on top of that. It sounds like a $150 mic for $100. It doesn't quite hit the quality of something like the Shure, but oh my goodness, it is a really good quality mic for its price point. One that I would genuinely recommend. I also want to get into voice acting, so my mic is the Shure SM7B, which is a very high-end professional mic. But this is their condenser mic, and then this is the AT2040 is their dynamic. Highly recommend. Go check them out. Audio-Technica is good. They just make good products. And if you need to have a TV that doesn't get pulled over by a kid, this company over here makes tethers. They tether to the back of your television and make sure that your kid doesn't unalive themselves by pulling up a TV. Yeah, mid-professional is a good way of describing it, Tuzzy. It's a mid-professional mic. Is it a full professional grade mic? Debatable. But it is a mid-professional mic. And yeah, this is a good idea. If you have a kid, you should probably get these so that your kid doesn't break your television. And kill themselves in the process. But mostly it protects the television, and make sure the television doesn't fall over. Like, that's the important part, right? You want to make sure that your television is safe. and that the kid doesn't unalive themselves. Both are important is what I'm saying. That's basically what I'm getting down to. Here's one of several antenna manufacturers. They make a bunch of antennas. Isn't that cool? Cool. Kids are secondary to TVs. I mean, I don't know. TVs are expensive, but I guess kids are expensive too. So I don't know. I guess I'm neutral on that. I don't really have a lot to say about the antennas. I just wanted to show that they had antennas. Who wants more Body Friend? That's right. I'm going to inform you that Body Friend is just a chair. It's another chair. Kids cost way more than TVs. Oh. Well, then you don't want to lose both. You don't want to lose the kid and the TV at the same time, right? So this protects both of your investments. One of the TV watching Netflix and the other eats Legos. Oh, Tuzzy, thank you for that. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about the chairs anymore. I've talked about the chairs. You guys know about the chairs. You guys understand the chairs. You guys get the concept of the chairs. Let's instead talk about something that's very important. This is very important. You know why it's very important? Because he loves hugs. That's why it's very important. It's because he loves hugs. I did in fact hug this creature. At first I thought it was a robot because the way it was moving, it was kind of swaying in a way that seemed a bit unnatural. But no, it was there was a person in there. They were just walking around hugging people, and it's like, okay, sure. Yeah, okay, whatever. So if you like hugs, and you're in CES, look for this dude, I guess, or me. You can hug me too. I accept this. Punching bag Ripley, no. Here we have a smart shower head. The shower, lets you know how much. What is it? I don't exactly know how it works, but it's supposed to conserve water, and it also monitors how long you've been in the shower. So basically, you can use their app to just record how long you disassociated for the shower that day. The gamer shower. I mean, I do like the red LED. Actually, I do kind of want just a shower head that is a circling LED. That sounds phenomenal. But I don't need an app to shame me for lying in the shower and crying, right? Come on, I can do that on my own, okay? I can shame myself harder than you can shame me, a shower head, okay? Get on my level. Next up, we have cooking. Aw, Buck, very good bean. Okay, so this is a cooking surface. I mean, they also sell all the utensils, but their primary product is this induction cooking surface. One sec. The induction cooking surface links up to an app. The app tells you what you're doing. So, let me walk you through this. Let me walk you through the innovation train, okay? Get ready to get on the innovation train. The induction heater also has a very accurate scale in it. And the scale will calculate out all the ingredients you need. And then the app will tell you the order that you need to do. So it will say, put a bowl on the scale and add 5 grams of chives. And you would add chives until the scale says, okay, good job. Then you put another one out there and put a glass on it. It's like, okay, now add wine, white wine, until it tells you to stop. And you just do that. So you follow the instructions, and it makes people into better cooks. The idea is that it takes somebody who can't cook and gives them all the tools that they need to be able to cook well, by following instructions, of course. And the company, I like the idea behind this for one simple reason. The company isn't selling you on a subscription. There's no subscription to it. The company is selling you on being a better cook and being more comfortable on cooking. What they do is they sell cooking utensils and gadgets and measuring cups and devices and things. This little induction stove isn't being sold to convince you to buy this induction stove. It's being sold to convince you to cook more often, so that you're more likely to buy the rest of the product line. And I like that design philosophy. I like that mentality. I appreciate the ethics behind that, you know? And honestly, I got to try some of the food that was on it. They had some toffee that they were made on the product itself, and you know what? It was quite good. I recommend this. Next up we have this milker. This makes milk. It milks things. Yep. So you choose what kind of milk you want it to make, and then input whatever you need, water and whatever nut you would need, and it will milk for you. It will just create the milk. It'll handle Brazil nut, cashew, coconut, hazelnut, almond, hemp seed. Hemp seed milk sounds delicious. Pistachio milk? I'm gonna try pistachio milk. That sounds amazing. Oat milk, macadamia, or walnut milk. It milks everything you need. The only thing they said, and they said this right at the when they were pitching, is like it doesn't do soy, because if you want to do soy, you would need a different membrane, and there's so many ways to get to get soy milk right now. They decided that soy wasn't going to be worth it for them. It's like, you know what? That's fair. That's actually completely fair. And Aiden, you like that thing? Great. That's awesome. And hello, Jack. But yeah, it milks whatever you need it to have milked. If you need something milked, this will handle it for you. Next up we have Yokai Express, which I believe is an anime, but this is not the anime. This is a little express mall kiosk style fast food vendor. You put your credit card in and it will make you a little meat bowl, or it'll make you a ramen dish. And my first thought was, yeah, okay, it's gonna be trash, right? It's gonna be just some random throwaway, emergency food. Then they actually handed out some samples, and oh my goodness, friends, this was delicious. This was actually a really, really good meatball. I don't know how they were able to do it, but this automated machine made near restaurant quality hot bowls, and I was shocked. When I first saw this, I'm like, okay, cool. It's like that one machine that makes pizzas, that one machine that makes fast food machine that makes pizzas, or the Dippin' Dots vending machine. It's you don't get fine cuisine out of this kind of machine. And then I ate the food they gave, and it was like, oh, no, this is actually pretty fine. Heck, dang it. Okay, sure. I'm in. I'll eat this. This is delicious. Can I have another? No? Okay, that's fine. Thank you for giving me a piece of it. It was delicious. The next thing I want to show off is this. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? This is a little light show product. Now, the one they have on the left is fairly normal. It's a thing that some kids have that makes stars appear in their room, or little nebula swirls. But this one that I saw here on the right just makes these swirling arcs of mist, and I thought it was stunningly beautiful. I'm legit gonna buy this. I'm actually gonna buy this. This is a product of CES that I am actually going to purchase. Vending machine that makes wholesome and delicious snack for free. Schools are gonna love that one. I mean, yeah, I really do think so. That would do extremely well in a school system. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But yeah, this creates a light show. It creates an Aurora Borealis light show. I am going to buy one of these. I am going to have some candies and stare at the ceiling for a while watching this, and I'm going to be absolutely delighted the entire time that I do so. because sometimes candies are, Anyways, I want this product because it looks very relaxing and very, meditative. Yes, we'll go with that. Yes. So, this is a pool cleaner that actually goes up the walls and cleans all aspects of the pool. And it functions like a Roomba in that it's completely automated. It'll clean every bit of the pool. And it doesn't require any input. If you're particularly posh and have a pool, then you probably want something like this so that you don't have to worry about, so that you can just completely automate the cleaning thereof. I think that's a great idea, because the target audience is going to be willing to spend the amount of money necessary to have the product that works. I like this product a lot, frankly. If you have a large enough pool that can support this, you probably have enough money to buy it. If you have enough money to buy it, this is going to be something that's going to save you the hassle of your daily maintenance. Like, the only downside of this is that if you buy this, then you don't need to hire a pool boy. So, like, that's the only downside. And I know that is a pretty big downside, but it's a trade-off, right? On one hand, you don't have to hire a pool boy, but on the other hand, you get less maintenance. You know, it's a trade-off, and if you know what? Okay. I also want to talk about floors. So, on the left you see the regular CES floor. This little thin carpet. In the middle you see the concrete that's beneath it, because of course there is, right? It's just a little concrete beneath it. So, what some places do is they add their own flooring. Here you can see that there's a mat in beneath the carpet. You can actually see where the mat is. When you start walking on the mat, it feels a lot more posh. It feels a lot more comfortable. It feels a lot more fancy and refined. Ironically, this dripping has makes the AR. True, actually, Buck. That's a good point. That's actually a very good point. But, if you are ever doing a convention booth, think about the foot feel of the area around your booth. Because walking onto a plusher surface is known to make people feel, well, more posh, more willing to spend money, more of an active participant in, you know, like the relaxed nature. Whereas walking on concrete gives people more of a harsh feel. And having a change inside of your area gives you a bit of a change of mental state while you're walking around it. It's a little thing that some booths do that changes the way that you experience the convention flooring. I just wanted to show that because that was a good place where I could show multiple surfaces. Alright, the most over the top, not the most over the top, but one of the most over the top booths that I saw was from Cole. This is a tree of shower heads. Look, take it in, folks. Look at it, breathe it. This is a tree of shower heads. With these wall shower heads as well. Plus these random pulsing jets that were just shooting out, all going into a lake that is seated on top of the convention flooring. I don't know why this was necessary. It was very pleasant though. It was very pleasant and relaxing, and it made a beautiful soundscape, and it was calming to be near, and it just sort of lifted my heart. I'm so glad that they did this. I have no idea why they did this, and there's no way this could have been the right choice. There's no way that this was a logical and, you know, efficient use of their resources, but oh my gosh, did it leave a mark? Did it leave a real presentational image in my brain mind? And you know what? For that, I salute them for that. Maybe it was worth it, you know? Now here we have, at the same booth, mind, a scent station, where they had some various aromatherapy things, because they were kind of show off the full sensory immersion that having a shower head can bring you, because you have to experience having a shower head with your entire body and all of your senses, your touch, your scent, your feel, your hearing, your sight. Behold the showerhead that brings you all of this glory. It was a bit pretentious, I gotta say, but honestly, it was still pleasant, and it did lead to a good experience. Because engaging more senses is a fantastic way of getting people's attention at a convention space, right? Having an area that sounds inherently different, that's a great idea. It really is. And I took the mask. I took the sense here, the relaxing, the mint one, and I spritzed the inside of my face mask so that I could have nice, relaxing, and calming mint inside my mask for the rest of the day. And my only regret is that I didn't do that sooner, frankly. Let's see. So this is an air conditioning unit for your skin. It uses a semiconductor air conditioner that just goes around your neck. And I've seen these before, like in the airports. You know, if you ever see them in an airport terminal, it's like, this is, an air conditioner that you wear on your body. And it's like, it's gonna be lame. I always assume it's gonna be lame. It always seems like it's a dumb idea. I actually tried this one and it felt decent. I'm not gonna buy it, but it was a cool idea. Get it? Cool idea? See, I drop these puns all the time and have them go unappreciated. I just want you guys to appreciate these puns. That's all I really ask for in this life, is for people to appreciate my puns. Tragically, that is too much to ask for most of the time. So here's a bunch of mounts. If you ever need a good mount, this company has you covered. They have a bunch of different styles. I really like having my monitor mounted. Having my monitor mounted on my wall really makes a huge difference. It really makes a big difference. A sonic air conditioning? No, it was a semiconductor air conditioning. But yeah, I like having my monitor mounted on my wall. It is very cozy. It's a good way of having it, I think. That company also makes a racing chair cockpit setup, which is just a nice little cool design. It's made by the same people who make the mount, so it is going to be sturdy and stable. It's just fairly simple. I just wanted to show it off because I found it neat. Next up, and lastly, we have a smart home. A small home. A small smart home. It is both small and smart. So the tiny home movement has a lot of traction, right? This is a tiny home. It's a tiny home that has everything that you need, that is actually constructed to be very space efficient and resource efficient. This tiny kitchen has everything you need all put together in a tiny space. It is adorable. Like, it's just so condensed down so that everything that you need in a larger kitchen is available in a tiny kitchen. Even some things that you normally wouldn't have, like a full-size refrigerator. Well, even if you're living in a tiny home and a tiny sink and a tiny, toaster oven, you still are a person who's going to need a full refrigerator, right? Having a tiny refrigerator doesn't make sense. You're still going to need the same amount of food as somebody who lives in a full-size house. If you live in a tiny home, you want to be space conscious, but you also want to be space efficient. Also, when I was taking this picture, this lady walked directly into the frame and into the middle of the frame, and her husband, this nice old dude was like, "Oh, honey, get out of the way. She's trying to take a picture." And he actually gendered me as she, even though I wasn't really trying to present as feminine, and that felt really good because, well, I gendered, and that was kind of neat. For the tech trades shows, I usually go more of a boy mode because, well, business. Let's be honest, people especially in the business world, show more respect towards men than women. That's just the world we live in. It's not great, but that's what it is. But it's nice that sometimes I'm still gendered, even when I'm not trying. Here we have a bathroom. This was extraordinarily difficult to take without doxing myself, by the way. But it actually is a bathroom space area with a tiny shower, a tiny commode. Oh, here's the better picture. And a little sink. It's like, seems like a lot. It seems like a big space for a tiny home. But it isn't. It just makes sense for the scale of it. Again, the actual unit is this size. And yeah, a good quarter of it is bathroom. But when you think about the amount of time you need to spend in the bathroom and the amount of comfort that you need in the bathroom, it makes sense to make the bathroom a little bit bigger. This kitchen area, which is the one that I showed here, this kitchen area is as big as it needs to be, and having so much light really helps make it feel bigger than it is. That's really what was very noticeable about it, was that this tiny home felt bigger than it was. Because it was tiny. It was a tiny home. Yeah, they made small printed smart home. And yeah, it is also smart connected in for all the things that entails. And then here's your tiny bed for your tiny home, from which you can see the rest of the convention. Because you made your home inside of a tech convention for some reason. Why did you do that? I don't understand. But you did that, and, well, that's what you did. Well, that, my friends, was CES. I will be there tomorrow as well. I will be there tomorrow as well, but I will not be streaming tomorrow. I will put some updates on my Discord channel. If you're not on the Discord channel, you should probably click that through, because it's a good, comfy place, and the channel discussion has some additional content. Yeah, I had a blast. Overall, there was a lot of nice things. There were not as many big, groundbreaking innovations this year as I've seen in others, but there was a lot of excellent refinements, a lot of pieces of technology that were just made better over the course of the years and made into something that was more usable and more user-friendly. And a few things that were cursed as well, because, well, that's also a part and parcel with the same package. You have to have some curses and you have to have some blessings. And, well, this CES really did deliver both of those in a way that I thought was a delightful event. I am off all next week. Now, I'm probably going to stream next week. I'm on vacation. I'm still staying in Vegas for the entirety of the next week. My normal schedule will be in play, and we'll have a bunch of uploads. My YouTube channel will have uploaded premieres basically every day. Every day except I'm going to take Wednesday off, because that's usually my day off. And they're good. I've already recorded them. There's a big collab with Lunabold, who is a delight, who just debuted her new model, which will be visible in the second episode of that we premiere. And I hope that you have a wonderful time with that. If you don't follow me already on Twitch, I believe there's a link in the description. Otherwise, twitch.tv/Jade the Kobold. I will be streaming on there a couple nights, but that's not going to be scheduled. I will just be announcing it on the Discord and on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, I don't understand why not, because, I mean, what are the uses Twitter have? But the Discord is really the best place for all Jade the Kobold related things, because, well, that's my social media. That's what social media means to me. That's where I talk and that's where I chat with people, and we're a delightful community. So come by on sometime. And I look forward to seeing you again real soon. We'll be coming back I'll be back live on the 16th, and we'll be starting Live Alive. And when Live Alive is complete, we'll be finally doing some long-awaited series. We have a couple long-awaited series coming up. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm having a great time, and I want to thank you all for joining me. It means the world to me that you're willing to spend your eyeball time on me. So thank you, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Cheers, friends.